What's going on, Sports Wars? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are going to talk about this ridiculous narrative surrounding the importance of this Super Bowl in terms of the legacy of the two quarterbacks involved. It's just ridiculous, and it's continuing to disrespect Tom Brady, and that has been something that the media has done consistently over the years. They compared him to Peyton Manning, and it was always that Manning was better than Brady. And we see who ultimately won that argument. Then it was Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers was always better than Tom Brady. And, of course, we stand here today, and we know who's better. Tom Brady's better, and it's not even close, and it never was close. It was actually close between Tom Brady and Peyton Manning for a while, but it was never close between Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. If you remember a few years ago, Aaron Rodgers, they won the Super Bowl, what was it, like 10 years ago now? They won a Super Bowl off a wild card. The next season, they start out undefeated. I think they went like 13 or 14-0. They lost. And then they ended 15-1. And Aaron Rodgers won the MVP and universal acclaim. Rodgers is the greatest to ever do it. No one can touch him. He's never going to be stopped. He's going to break every record. He's going to win every Super Bowl. And guess what? He's never won another Super Bowl. Not even close. Not even been to another one. That's the greatest of all time Aaron Rodgers narrative. Well, we're seeing the same thing with Patrick Mahomes heading into the Super Bowl. And Tom Brady is going to his 10th Super Bowl. Tom Brady winning or losing this Super Bowl impacts his legacy none. His legacy is already submitted. No one can touch him. No one. It's going to take a lot more for someone to even enter that discussion. And Patrick Mahomes is nowhere near the discussion. And win or lose, it doesn't make a difference on Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady. If Mahomes wins this game, that's great. It's another stepping stone in what could potentially be an all-time great career. 2 Super Bowls in 2 appearances. Great. That's awesome. That's wonderful. And his talent is incredible. But he also is on a team led by Andy Reid. And they always talk about how stacked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are. They don't talk about how stacked the Kansas City Chiefs are. This was a team that was competing before Mahomes became the quarterback. Andy Reid took Donovan McNabb to, 4 NFC championships and a Super Bowl appearance? So I want to see if Mahomes is going to be doing this in 7 or 8 years from now, with all new players around him, potentially a different coach, maybe not, but he's nowhere near the discussion. Tom Brady didn't need this season. For anybody that's ever paid attention to sports, Tom Brady didn't need this season to prove that he's the greatest ever. He's been the greatest ever for a long time. He's just pushing the measuring stick that much further. But let's listen to this right here, and we'll talk more about it.
We may one day look, even if he loses this Super Bowl, and say, man, he got to and won enough Super Bowls, especially if he ever gets Brady in a rematch where he'd lose this one. He got him back, and we all saw it with our own eyes. No one was ever as good as Mahomes. That would be, I admit, it's a big mountain to climb, but he could do it.
No, he can't. If he loses this Super Bowl to Tom Brady, he will never, ever.
It's so ridiculous.
Tom Brady is 43 years of age. And I'm going to use this analogy to you, and it's a bad one, I'll admit it, but I think I'm using a boxing analogy just to get Max to where I'm going. Do you remember when Costa Zoo fought Zab Judah?
Sure do.
You remember when Zab was talking, and he fought Costa Zoo, and Costa Zoo caught him, Zab was trying to dip, got caught with the right hand, went down, Molly, and got up like this. And his legs were shaking and went and fell back down. I still think the referee shouldn't have stopped the fight. He should have let it go.
Agreed.
You understand? But nevertheless,
Stephen A., that fight was over.
I understand that. I understand that, but he still let it.
I agree with you.
Because he said let him go because he still had it.
He got up, he wanted to fight.
He got up, he wanted to fight, so let him fight. Here's the point. Why do I bring that up in an analogy like this? Because everybody said rematch, rematch, rematch. Costa Zoo said no. You said winner take all. Winner gets everything. Because he thought he was going to win.
Yeah.
He said, now. In other words, to punish him, he said, I ain't giving you another shot.
Yeah, do that in the NFL.
Live with this, right? What if Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl
could retire
and says, I'm done.
That's going to be tough.
I'm done. You know what? I beat Patrick Mahomes.
On a high note.
I beat the modern day GOAT, you're right, according to y'all, at age 43 in my first year with a new team. It's a wrap. I thought I would come back. Giselle, baby, all the kids, we did what we came to do. You understand? It's a wrap. Can't end any better. Not only do I go out a champion, I knocked off Patrick Mahomes
in his
and
prime.
the offensive juggernaut that is the Kansas City Chiefs. Not just Patrick Mahomes' prime, Travis Kelce's prime, Tyreek Hill's prime. I took them out.
And he'd have 7 rings.
And I said, yeah, we
even if
know that.
Brady
and MJ has 6 rings.
That's a given.
Even if Brady didn't play well,
but what I'm
people
saying,
wouldn't remember.
But what I'm saying is, if he sat up there and won the game and then said, I'm done.
Yeah.
Now, see, where he could tarnish it, if Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, even if he beats Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes still looks like Patrick Mahomes, and Tom Brady comes back next year looking like Peyton Manning did in his last year, that could ruin it. But if Tom Brady won, played well doing so, and then said, I'm done. There's no more for me to do. I don't think Patrick.
This ridiculous notion of how Brady plays defines how he's viewed as ridiculous, because they very rarely bring up the fact that he threw for over 500 yards when they lost to the Eagles. All they say is that he lost to the Eagles. They don't bring up the fact that he threw for over 500 yards in the loss to the Eagles. It's ridiculous media bullshit. Ridiculous media bullshit. If Patrick Mahomes loses the Super Bowl, it does not impact his all-time greatness if he continues to do what he's doing for the next 15 years. It doesn't. It has no impact whatsoever. Because ultimately, you're going to punish him for making it to the Super Bowl but losing it. I think that's kind of crazy. When if he goes on, like Brady has made it to 9 Super Bowls or 10, in a week and a half. He's played in 9 up to this point. Okay, he's won 3 and he's lost 3 and he's won 6. So those people that say, "Oh, he lost on the biggest stage," okay. So what you're saying is that if he were 6-0 in Super Bowls, and the 3 times he lost the Super Bowl, if he would have lost earlier in the playoffs, he would somehow be better? Think about that one for a minute. That's ridiculous. It's a dumb argument. So no, that has no impact whatsoever. At the end of the day, Tom Brady does not need the Super Bowl. If he does win it, it's only going to further his legacy that's already completely set in stone. He didn't need this season. He doesn't need this Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes is Aaron Rodgers from the 2010-2011, when they were claiming that no one has ever been like him and no one's ever going to compete with him and he's going to break every record and he's going to be the greatest that's ever lived and no one's close. And guess what? We're sitting here today and Tom Brady at 43 years old is the one that's still pushing the envelope. That guy is the one we're still talking about. So Mahomes has a long way to go, and he does not deserve to be in any GOAT conversation whatsoever, not even remotely close. ESPN is disrespecting Tom Brady by having Patrick Mahomes in this discussion, but this is what they do. Let's listen to the rest of this video.
Patrick Mahomes could overcome that, because no matter what, even if you won 7, which I don't believe will happen, even if you won 7, you still lost to him, not once, but twice, in the postseason. Your only postseason losses of your career. One was in the AFC Championship game. Another was in the Super Bowl because he went to the conference. It was when he was 43 years of age. It's his 7th ring, and he beat you, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce in his prime. Patrick Mahomes is phenomenal. You can't eclipse that.
Well,
I'll
say this.
Can't do it.
If Tony Romo had said, this is what you're saying it is possible that if Brady beats Mahomes, he can fix it so that Mahomes will never have a chance. I agree with your argument. It would be so unlikely. What could Mahomes do? Win 10 Super Bowls in a row, right? Like, he'd have to do something like that to really get back in it. So I would agree. There is something Brady could do after the game, which would ice it forever, which is to retire. That is true. I can't argue against that.
Yeah.
But Brady said he wants to play till he's 45 years old.
We'll see.
And given the way he's playing now on the team he's on,
Right.
with the weapons and the defense he has,
I would remind y'all that I don't mean to put business out there in terms of the industry.
Yeah.
But if Peyton Manning wanted to be in the booth, I don't care what network you point to, you talking about a minimum. If Tony Romo getting 17, you talking about Peyton Manning getting a minimum of 20. Peyton Manning has how many rings?
2.
Yeah.
So the 7-time champion that looks like a damn model with those Tom Ford suits, that's married to a supermodel, that ends his career at age 43, if he were to do that, who's getting $25 million a year now to play football for the next 2 years, has a chance to retire to make $20 million a year at least in the booth without getting touched? That could do it for the next decade?
I don't think he would do it. I think Tom
Let me tell you
Brady's,
something.
I think Tom Brady's got his mind on this.
I
think Tom Brady wants to make $1 billion with TB12.
Yeah, I mean, some of these things are just, what they're saying is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But ultimately, this Super Bowl, it's awesome for the moment. But Tom Brady's legacy and his greatness as the greatest of all time, no one is even remotely close. And this Super Bowl doesn't change anything. It doesn't change a thing. He will continue to be the greatest of all time, whether he wins or loses this Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. Patrick Mahomes, if he wins this Super Bowl, is nowhere near Tom Brady. He's not even close. Patrick Mahomes has to do it for a long time with different players and different schemes and different coaches. And that's going to take at least another 10 years to see where he's at. He's nowhere close. And this Super Bowl plays no impact on the greatest of all time, because the greatest of all time is done. It's Brady. It's Brady. It's always been Brady. It's always going to be Brady. If Patrick Mahomes wants to enter that conversation, he's got a long, long way to go. And the path to getting there is highly, highly unlikely. I like Patrick Mahomes. I think he's incredibly talented. I think he's incredibly entertaining. Just as Aaron Rodgers is incredibly entertaining and incredibly talented. And when the right pieces are there, these guys are nothing short of phenomenal to watch. But teams change, players change, coaches change, times change. And right now, Mahomes has an amazing team, and he is maximizing that to his full potential. Congrats to him on that. But let's see what happens over the next decade and a half. And then, maybe then we can start having the conversation for the GOAT. But the conversation right now is absolutely ridiculous to have. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have a great day, and we will talk to you later.